We're going to talk more in depth about this. We are lucky enough to have Sacramento Mayor Darrell Steinberg in the flesh, live in studio with us tonight to talk about this. Appreciate you giving us some time.
Great to be here, Nikki.
Okay, so let's talk about the criticism before we talk about the positives, because I know that you did say at the press conference you were not declaring victory. Mason had that quote in the story, but some skeptics saying that this point in time count is not accurate. What do you say to that?
Well, it was accurate in those critics' minds when the numbers went up in 2022. Why aren't they accurate when it goes down in 2024? And we have the backup for why it's accurate. Because the numbers are not just the 41% reduction in unsheltered homelessness, which is one of the largest reductions in the state. It's backed up by the fact that the numbers show that we have increased the number of shelter beds over 80%, 84% between 2020 and 2024. We have increased the number of permanent supportive housing units for people to live permanently by 30% since 2020. And so we know what we have done over these last 7 years. We have built more capacity than ever before to ensure that thousands of people have a choice. And most people are saying yes to that choice. Now, this is not a day to declare victory. I've been very clear about that. We still have thousands of people on the streets. And until homelessness is both rare and brief, if it exists at all, we still have work to do. But given that this is the first significant reduction in over a decade, given the fact that the city and county are collaborating together like never before.
And that's a new thing, because the city and county was not working together for a while, right?
Not as well as we could have or should have, but the last couple of years, we now have a legally binding partnership agreement, and it's beginning to take hold. Look, this is not easy, and there's always going to be critics and doubters. But the critics and doubters out there, the lawsuits or the initiatives, they don't build a single bed. They don't build a single housing unit. They don't provide a single bit of mental health or substance abuse service to people. And they don't break up large encampments where they need to be broken up. What matters is the work. And we have been doing the work. It's not glamorous. And yes, there's a lot of noise and there's a lot of 3 steps forward and 1 step back.
Well, and it's too, because if someone's watching this conversation right now, and we're talking about a reduction in numbers, and I know that you said it's not time to declare victory, and I believe the number is still 6,000 unsheltered folks on the street right now.
Too many.
So if folks are, look, I'll be honest, I drove through Midtown yesterday on stretch of J Street. I don't normally drive on, and I was a little bit alarmed. But I said, whoa, I've never seen this stretch of J Street look like this. So while we see numbers go down, if folks in their neighborhoods aren't seeing homelessness decrease in their area, they might hear this report and go, no.
Well,
how do you combat with something like that?
Well, we have to keep working and make sure that we address the concerns of the neighbors, the business corridors where the encampments still exist. But there's no question, both perception, I talk to a lot of people, and the numbers say that we have reduced the number and reduced the size of the encampments. And we have done it the right way by offering people a choice. And more people are, in fact, coming in. Look, we have to be able to handle a little bit of good news here. Because
we're never satisfied, right?
No, because obviously these issues are highly charged, highly political. A lot of the frustration is understandable. But as I said earlier, it's really about setting a vision, which I did 7 years ago. It is persisting by building more beds, more temporary housing, more permanent housing, connecting with the county to make sure there are more services. Now with Proposition 1, the mental health initiative that passed in March that requires the counties to spend more of that money on the chronically homeless, I think we have a chance to see even better results. This is not victory, but it represents real progress, and we just have to keep going.
I heard some of your comments during the news conference today, and it seems like you're a little frustrated with the business community, because we've done some stories too about some, businesses closing. The latest one, Starbucks. We go talk to people in Doco, and they say crime and homelessness, and that's the reason businesses aren't thriving. I want to paraphrase this, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but essentially what I gathered from your comments was the business community is just complaining and they aren't coming with solutions. But
yes.
Isn't that your job? Isn't that why we elect you and city council members to come up with those solutions, not the business owners?
Well, first of all, we're doing our job, as is demonstrated by a 41% reduction in unsheltered homelessness. But secondly, no, the business community, and by the way, there are a lot of good business leaders, and I love the folks that lead the business improvement districts. It's some of the leaders, though, are the loudest complainers, but they don't bring any solutions to the table. And here's my real concern. It isn't about complaining about politicians. That goes on all the time. When you are a leader, a civic leader, a governmental leader, a business leader, you have an obligation to talk up your city as much as you talk it down. Because I said today, you go downtown on the weekend, there is more good and great activity. There are more festivals. It's hard to get a restaurant reservation. There's tons of foot traffic. Old Sacramento's attendance is back to pre-pandemic, above pre-pandemic levels. And so there's a psychology about how you build a city, how you attract more investment. And you don't do it by constantly complaining and constantly focusing on the negative. And so, yeah, I'm calling it out because I've dealt with it. Look, I've been the subject of a lot of criticism, and I take it. That comes with the territory. But I think today shows that when you provide strong and steady leadership and you persist, that you can get better results. And that's what I hope for, not only from governmental leaders, but from everybody who chooses to lead from any sector in this community, because I think we need it. The great cities don't have government doing it alone. It's
partnership, right?
It's partnership, and that's really all I'm calling for.
Okay, so we have a little bit of time left, and I just want to ask you to reflect. Took office in 2016. You're about to leave your position as a mayor of Sacramento. I know you still have some time left, but I know when you ran, this was something that was top of mind for you, addressing the homelessness crisis. The Mental Health Services Act that was just reformed through Prop 1 was something that you worked on, that you proposed when you were pro tem in the legislature. So just in your time in government, and let's just focus on your role as mayor since taking office in 2016, what grade would you give yourself in terms of this crisis?
I got asked this earlier. I don't know how to give myself a grade. I would say that I have laid a very important foundation. I have led very assertively, even in ways that maybe have ruffled feathers from some of our governmental partners. I have insisted that we make these sets of issues a priority. I chaired the Big City Mayors Coalition and fought for the first direct allocation of money to cities to combat homelessness that we have used to great effect. I've done everything I said I would do, and now I will admit that the problem is far from solved. The city's not a homeless service agency. We're not a mental health agency. But to see a 41% reduction in unsheltered homelessness, 29% overall, to see all this additional options for people, I feel like I have followed through on my promises. And now it will be up to the next mayor, but the entire community, because the mayor doesn't have all the power in this city.
There's no strong mayor in Sacramento, so it's important to point
we got to
that out,
keep
too.
it going. So no grade, I'll let the people judge that, but today I feel pretty good. Yeah.
What's next after that? Are you ready to break that yet? I've been asking
Right,
for months now, whether it's on Fox 40 or whether it's on Inside California Politics. We know you're not done, so.
I'm not done.
Okay.
I only get asked that 20 times a day.
I know,
and I
I
don't
know.
know the answer yet because I really want to think about it. But I'll tell you one thing, whatever it is, I'm going to serve.
Okay. Sacramento Mayor Darrell Steinberg, always appreciate you giving us some time coming down to the studio
Thank you
this
so
evening
much,
after a long
Nikki.
day. Appreciate it.
Enjoyed it.